What's going on, arcade nerds? There's a couple cool products that are coming to the arcade community here shortly. And I have an exclusive of each product from two different people. And I thought it would be really cool to show you guys what's going on, where you can get it, and I want to talk about the engineers that worked on it and so on. So, let's check out what I'm talking about. Well, there's a couple different projects that I want to talk about in this video. And the first one I want to talk about is Reproduction Cosmic Chasm PCB sets. Yes, it's going to happen. Matter of fact, I have here the first revision, possibly the last, who knows, we'll see, we gotta test it. Version of the Cosmic Chasm PCB set. Anyways, this has not been tested yet. This was sent to me to assemble and test to see if we have Cosmic Chasm working or not. Now, this project is head off by Ted Hooper, and he found a really cool guy that is that cloned an original Cosmic Chasm PCB, and he's doing it for the love of it, not to make a whole bunch of money. He's doing it for the love of the hobby and so on, you know. So, but yeah, if you're not familiar with Cosmic Chasm PCBs, this is a 4-board stack. You have right here your soundboard that plugs in right there. And you have here, Cosmic Chasm, your ROM board. Now Semitronics called that the personality module. Believe it or not, they thought ahead. They thought, hey, maybe we'll make a different game for this PCB. And so they made an easily removable card that holds all the ROM data. And so, yes, if the arcade video game crash and all that didn't happen, there could have been more games that ran on the Cosmic Chasm PCB set. But, as we all know, that never really happened. And Cosmic Chasm alone was a very rare game. So, anyways, what I'm going to do is I'm going to call up Ted. And I want to get, let's talk to Ted a little bit, and let's, get any information that I might have missed while talking about this. Now, I believe this will be available from our arcade shop, Paradise Arcade Shop, in the future when it's done and ready. And I should probably have this first one assembled, I don't know, a couple of weeks, 3 weeks, something like that. So anyways, let's have a talk with Ted Hooper. What's going on, Ted? Hold on, I got you on speaker. You're on speaker. What's going on? All right, by now, at this point of the whatever video I'm making, I would have shown your board, and then I would have said, all right, let's talk to Ted about what's going on with this board. So I'm just looking for, like, info about what'll happen with it and all that stuff.
Of course, I've got a question for you first.
What's up?
Have you assembled it?
No, but I did. I bought about $100 worth of chips, and that's about. Hey, Kelly, how far assembled is that going to get us?
I don't know exactly. That was like.
I don't know, maybe a third.
Schematics, because there's no BOM on the board yet.
Anyway, so that's about a third of the whatever. But no, I have not assembled it.
I'm sorry, I have a 7-month-old kitten trying to eat my nose right now as I'm talking to you. She's decided now is the moment to sit on my dad's chest and stick my tongue up his nose.
I thought you were going to say something else. No, that's okay.
Yeah,
I got... Whoa!
She's a PG kitty. First off, it depends on how your first assembly with the board goes, because obviously when you do something that's an exact replica, it's hard to get right the first time. It's very hard.
Sure.
Out of the Williams boards I did, it was two for four. Two worked right off the bat, and two needed a couple little changes that were missed when we reproduced the board.
I'll tell you what, 2 out of 4 ain't bad, buddy. That's good. First try, ready to go. That's pretty good.
Yep.
Now, the engineer that cloned these boards, can I share his name?
No, I'm
No,
sorry.
cannot.
He is a top secret resource.
No problem.
Who's not in the hobby, and we have his slate full for hopefully the next 2 years. So there are a lot of projects in the pipe for this.
Sure.
I will say this: he's somebody who's retired who is having a ball with the projects we send him.
That's awesome.
Yeah. So to give you an idea, I think it was the soundboard. I sent him the Williams soundboard to do, and he turned it around in 2 days.
Oh yeah, I believe it.
Yeah.
But
yeah, and
he's not producing schematics, though, is he? I mean, is he just cloning the board, or is he doing the schematics and all?
Well, he's obviously got a copy of the original Williams, but we're also updating those because there's mistakes in those, along with mistakes in the build of material list.
Okay.
So he's fixing that as well, which, will obviously be released when we release the boards.
That's one thing that I noticed when cloning boards is the schematics are usually never correct. And the good news is, while you copy the new board, trace for trace, it points out some of those schematic problems. So
yeah, and the board and the schematics can get you all the way there. You just have to realize that they didn't always update them because they're like, we don't have the money, or they've already gone to print, and
in some situations, like Atari is a big example. I believe they purposely had errors in the schematics because the errors are just too obvious, and they wouldn't come near to working based on the schematics alone.
Yeah.
Well.
Yeah, I don't disagree with you on that. I don't disagree with you. Trade secrets and all.
Sure. Well, anyway, so Cosmic Chasm PCB.
Yes.
So, I mean, do you have a price point, an idea of what these would sell for?
No, not yet, because we're still working on, once they're proven. We don't go to the manufacturing company until we're sure the design works and is solid, and we've got all the revisions done to it. For the simple fact is, you need an accurate price, and also that will also determine, and some of the people's comments when I posted up a message about this, I don't want a Heath kit special. That's not what we're talking about. Basically, because they do a lot of wave soldering over there. We want to put in all the BS components, all your resistors, all your capacitors, your header pins, all the 90% of the stuff, basically the chips, not the sockets. The sockets will already be done, so that if you want to buy one partially populated, you can, or you can buy one fully populated. But with the partially populated ones, we plan on dropping the chips in and making sure it works.
Sure.
And, and then shipping them out. Price point on Cosmic Chasm, I'm going to ballpark
$20.
Yeah. A Jason special. $2. I want my $2.
Yeah, I got one for free because I'm special.
Yeah, well,
I kind of have to assemble it, though.
Yes, you kind of had to assemble it. That was part of the project. But I'm thinking fully assembled between $2,000 and $3,000 for those.
Sure.
A, it's an ultra rare board, and B, it's a lot of work. If you were to pay somebody to redo the board completely, it's thousands of dollars. And it's a lot of time and a lot of work, and you've got to recoup those costs.
Sure.
And in the end, it's kind of to make things available for the public, for the collectors out there, because there aren't very many Cosmic Chasm boards in existence. I mean,
let alone cabinets.
Yeah, let alone cabinets.
Yeah.
Although I can get into that will be something that will be available as people be able to get those cut out, kind of just like with Quantum.
Sure.
But we're trying to make these things available for the people that want them and get them to more shows so people can play these fantastic games and not just sit in some collector's house and no one ever gets to play them, because they were all meant to be played. They were meant to be enjoyed.
Sure. Is there any other projects you're working on right now?
There's about 4 that are in the pipeline.
I know what I know what you're working on. What I'm saying is, it's like, do you want to share what you're working on right now?
There's 2. Until we've got the design squared away, I really can't share anything, because
I gotcha.
We really don't want to get it out in the public yet until we're for sure we can do this, because so many of these projects over the years become vaporware. Guys will say things and they'll take
I know.
and they'll just disappear with your money. So what I want to do is show up with a board that says it works, it's tested, we've got them in stock, here you go, buy them.
Yeah. There's quite a few projects I'm working on myself that. Some people make jokes because I say I'm working on a whole bunch of different things, but if I told you everything I'm working on, you would know how stupid I am, for real.
Oh, and you know me well enough to know I am in as deep as you with all my flipping projects. So there's a prototype game that I'm working on with another collector, and we want to get this done and make it available, hopefully not this year at the Midwest Gaming Classic, but next year at the Midwest Gaming Classic, because it's hard, sometimes almost impossible. The only way you find some of this stuff is through another collector. Like, a little bit of fun news is I just got an NOS marquee and yoke overlay for a turbo sub.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah. And that's an incredibly rare game from a company that only made 2 games, that and the infamous Bouncer.
Gotcha.
So, I mean, that's about, the other stuff, that's about as much as I can talk about it. But the point is, like, some of these projects, like, we're really not making a ton of money off these, and we take the money and we reinvest it in other things. Like, it looks like we're probably going to be doing the MCR board set down the road.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
So am I.
Oh, well, we'll work that out so we don't step on each other's toes, because that's not how I roll.
It's funny because just recently I heard yet another person is planning on doing that same thing also.
Well, that's cool. As long as and one of the reasons I have a lot of people saying, well, why aren't you making all of these changes? I will say this, with the Williams stuff I'm doing, you're going to have the opportunity to buy the original boards with the proper engineering updates, and then down the road, the design is somewhat done. We're putting the same exact physical footprint, but with all modern components.
Sure.
So that we can literally manufacture these boards until we're all old and gray and die, so everyone can still enjoy their games when, because at some point the original chips, all the sources are just going to dry up. Mm. So the good news about doing an exact one-to-one replica like I'm doing is the fact that if down the road somebody can't find any chips, but the chips on their board is good, they can desolder all the chips and move them over to a brand new board and keep their game running. So there is a good, valid reason for doing this, because when you get down the rabbit hole of redesign, it's too easy to change everything. Mine is kind of the opposite end of the J-Rock. J-Rock is, here's a little board and it plays everything.
Sure.
But with his stuff, you have to have an adapter or change your harness. Mine, you unplug your original boards, put it on your mounting plate, and turn it on, and it goes.
Yeah, I am a fan of plug and play. Although I'm not a fan of possibly stripping an original board to build another board.
Well, that's more in the case of the board is physically unrepairable. It's been, broken,
cracked in half or something like that,
or acid damaged where the traces are just, you'd spend $1,000 repairing the original board. And Jason, not everybody can repair boards like you can, you little wizard, you.
Well, so when these are ready, where will people be able to find them?
They can either get them directly from me, or I am going to also put them up in the shop through Paradise Arcade.
Okay, so they'll be able to get them from Paradise Arcade, and they'll get how do people find you?
They can find me on the KLOV forums under Seawolf, or also on Facebook under Ten Hooper. I'm on most of the major arcade collecting groups out there. They can always bug Jason. He can send you my way.
Sure. So Ted Hooper, that is DICK.
You are an ass.com.
But all right, I just wanted to get something. I'm recording you, by the way.
Yeah, I know.
All right, I just wanted to get something to put in the video, so it comes from the horse's mouth. So I'm not talking shit, and then there's a video that's with wrong information.
Yeah. No worries, man. No worries. And if your missus needs a bomb list for that thing, the manual has a beautiful bomb list.
It does?
Cosmic Chasm.
Well,
I couldn't find it.
Maybe we're looking at the wrong thing. I don't know. She was looking at the schematics.
Is this where I throw down a little Jason taunt here? The fact that I have an original Cosmic Chasm manual. Like, here, hold on. It's like 3 feet from me, right here on my shelf.
Oh, come on, man. See, the ones online don't have that little piece of paper.
Oh, they don't. Oh, that's just wrong.
I know.
So if you could scan that would help out. Because
Cosmic Chasm by Cinematronics Inc.
If you could scan that for me, I'd appreciate it, because we're going through the schematic and ordering chips that way.
Oh yeah, here, hold on. Which page is it on?
Yeah, just scan it and send it to Jason through email, or take a picture of it and send it to the phone or something. That'll help out a lot.
Oh yeah. Well, I'll tell you what. If you want to do me a favor, I will scan it and get it to you. I'll actually scan it tomorrow for you.
Okay.
If you'd be willing to throw it in a spreadsheet, I would love you forever.
Sure.
And here's the interesting thing about the Cosmic Chasm manual. It tells you every single bolt size, every single thread count of every part on the machine. They left nothing out. I mean, I wish so many other game companies, when they put out a manual for their game, had done something like this.
Yeah, I know Cinematronics did that a lot.
They're pretty thorough.
Yeah. Spacer, jumper, socket, dip switch, 64 CR, quantity 1, socket, 20-pin, dip 6. Well, let me ask you this, since your missus has looked at the book. Where does the one you found online end? What page?
I think it was like 60-something, I think.
Because the parts start on page 33.
See, I was looking through and all I could find is like theory of operation, and then it goes to the schematics, and then after the schematics, there's nothing.
Well, I'll tell you what. Yeah, I'm totally happy to do this for you, but I'll eventually packet it in a PDF and publish it on the web for everybody to have.
Sure.
But yeah, you can. Anything you're missing, I'll go ahead and send you a copy of out of mine.
Okay.
Yeah. All right. Well,
and it was a nice $10 eBay score.
Oh yeah.
Years ago. Yeah.
Oh, it definitely helps out, because I've tried Clove. They don't have it on there. I've tried a couple other places, and you can't find the parts list at all.
Well, all right. Let me let you go, Ted. I'm getting ready to start this video.
Okay. Well, have fun with your video.
Oh wait, there's
And,
something I want to tell you real quick. Okay.
Oh, sure.
Listen carefully.
You're such a jerk.
If you fart on the phone, I'm hanging up.
It
Happened already.
It already happened.
I know you a little too well, Jason. I know you a little too well.
The next project I want to talk about is done by Nick Mixtus. Now, I made a video in the past about a project that Nick did where he cloned the asteroids PCB. And, you know, maybe that's not the most needed thing in the world, but I think he's moved on to an even better project now. Now, the project he's working on right now isn't finished, but it is, some of the boards, one of the boards is actually working so far. What Nick has done is he has cloned the video board for Star Wars. And he has plans to clone all of the Star Wars PCBs. So in the future, if you are missing a Star Wars PCB, or if you maybe decide to build a Star Wars from scratch, if that ever comes to fruition, you can actually assemble your own, or possibly buy these pre-assembled from somewhere. I don't know all the details, but I believe you may be able to buy these from Allen One in the future. Now, the cool thing about what Nick does is everything he does is open source. So I'm going to show, I'm going to put in the link, in the description, I will put a link to move you to all the stuff that Nick has done. And everything he has done is open source, and he's giving away for anyone else to use or build onto in the future. Now, here's some examples of some of the things he's done. Now, there are already AVG replacements, but Nick created his own AVG replacement. And let's say in the future someone, you know, this is a question that is brought up here and there in the community, or someone will say, hey, I can't burn bipolars, what do I do? Well, he made his own little adapter so he can plug a 2716 in place of this bipolar. And this has been done in the past, but Nick once again did it himself, and he open sourced it. This is that voltage controlled resistor. Now, if you don't know about this resistor here, this circuit here, and the circuit here, it's part of the pincushion circuit on many Atari Vectors. Now, this has been done before. I believe Billtronics did it, and then I believe later on Vector Collector did it, because Billtronics no longer sold them. So Vector Collector made them, and now Nick has made these again himself. But the cool thing about what Nick is doing is everything he's doing is open source. Now, Nick has already finished making the schematics for the CPU side. This is the video side you're looking at right here. And the CPU side, he's going to be laying out here shortly. And right now, one more thing after that would be because this is a 3-board stack. You have your video, you have your CPU, and you have your soundboard. So he's going to make, well, he's made some talk about doing a FPGA soundboard or a 1-for-1 clone. He's not 100% sure which way he's going to go with that. But also, I have 2 of these boards, by the way. This is the back side. Now, all this silk screen is only on 10 boards. This is his limited edition. So there's only 10 of these boards. I have 2 of them. And the cool thing about Nick is just, you know, I'm just going to say it again. It's open source. He's not trying to make money off of this ordeal. And I really respect that. But yeah, so that's one more thing that is being done. Now, it may sound kind of corny, but when I got those 2 Star Wars boards in the mail, I went out to Hobby Lobby and I picked up a big, what do you call this, Kelly? Shadow box. Big shadow box. And I wanted to maybe put that inside the shadow box. Let me try to zoom out a little bit. Okay, that's as far as it zooms out, huh? But yeah, I just wanted to put it inside a shadow box. I thought it'd be pretty cool. I mean, that board would be useful for people that don't have their board, don't have a board, and so on. But for me, I can just repair my original Star Wars board. So all that work that Nick did assembling that board for me to give me, I'm sadly not going to actually use it. I'm going to frame it, and that will be, you know, hanging on my wall. I just think it's pretty cool. I really appreciate a lot of these engineers that do stuff in this hobby, and I look up to a lot of guys like Nick, and just thought that'd be kind of cool. And ooh, yeah, it'll just fit. Yeah, so I'm gonna have this hanging on my wall, something like that, in the shadow box. Well, there it is. Inside the display case, shadow box or whatever. I know it sounds a little bit corny, or it may seem corny, but I think this is pretty badass. And I'm gonna hang it somewhere. I'm gonna find a space somewhere to hang it in the arcade. But you know, I respect a lot of these guys that do all this stuff, and I look up to them. And ever since I was, as long as I can remember, I always wished that I was an electronics engineer. And so I have a lot of respect for all those guys that do that stuff. And you know, and as I grew up, I got into arcade stuff. And arcades is like a perfect, the two hobbies align perfectly, don't they? And you know, so I'm more than happy to show off any projects that anyone else wants to send me or whatever, especially if it's vector related. You know, I have a lot of respect for guys that do all this work, and you know, I just think it's really cool. So, I guess that is it. Thanks for watching. Please subscribe. Don't forget at the bottom, in the comments, or what's it called? In the description, there will be a link to show you all Nick's work, and it's all open source, so you can play and tinker with it if you want, and so on. And don't forget, there will be, through Paradise Arcade Shop, the Chasm Reproduction PCBs. Anyways, have a good one. Subscribe. Appreciate you guys.